a comprehensive look at trends, fund profiles, and more in Exploring ETFs.
We're going to see what's going on with lumber ETFs, of all things, with our ETF Research Director, Nina Mishra, who joins me here. So, with everything going on out there, fires and everything, lumber prices are soaring.
Yeah, lumber prices have really soared this year, and particularly recently because of these widespread wildfires in British Columbia, where 3 major lumber operators had to suspend their operations.
Okay.
And now about 1/3 of lumber supply in the U.S. comes from Canada, imported from Canada, and the province of British Columbia that produces about half of Canada's lumber. That is why this problem has become so severe. And lumber prices had in fact been going up this year, also because of the trade dispute between the U.S. and Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And the duties, import duties, which are now being imposed on Canadian lumber, because the U.S. government says that Canada improperly subsidizes its lumber, so giving their Canadian lumber producers an unfair advantage. That is why the Trump administration has started imposing up to 30% duties on lumber imported from Canada.
Wow.
That is another reason why lumber prices have gone up. And shipments from Canada, lumber shipments from Canada, have also been impacted by the rising Canadian currency. The loonie is up almost 10% against the US dollar just over the past 6 weeks.
So with all of that going on in the background, why would anyone invest in lumber or timber ETFs?
So rising lumber prices is one of the reasons why timber ETFs have been going up this year. And but there are several other reasons why investors should consider a little exposure, some exposure to these timber ETFs. Timber as an asset class has very low correlation with other major asset classes. So it provides diversification to an equity-focused investor portfolio. And we know that inflation has been muted for the past several years, but if inflation picks up in future, and the Fed has been trying for that, then timber acts as an inflation hedge. So over the long term, this asset class performs well and it provides diversification to the portfolio. Also, there's another reason for being positive on timber, these timber ETFs, is that Vanguard is changing the index for its ultra popular REIT ETF, VNQ, and the new index will include timber REITs. And these timber REITs are among the top holdings in the timber ETFs. So that should also benefit timber ETFs. So I think these timber ETFs are worth a look.
So does all of this cause any more volatility among these, more than you'd see in the broad market?
No, in fact, this as an asset class, it has lower volatility than stocks over the longer term. And by adding this asset class to the portfolio, you reduce the overall portfolio volatility as well because of the diversification provided by this asset class.
Okay, let's take a look at a couple of them. The Guggenheim Timber ETF, ticker is CUT.
Yeah, interesting tickers. They're just 2 ETFs which provide access to this unique asset class, and both have international exposure as well. They provide access to the global timber market. This Guggenheim ETF with the ticker CUT has 76 holdings, and little less than half of its assets are invested in the U.S. It charges an expense ratio of 55 basis points.
And then there's the iShares Global Timber and Forestry ETF, right?
With the ticker wood. So this is slightly more concentrated compared to the first one. It has 29 holdings. Again, the exposure to U.S., about 42% of assets under management are invested in U.S. timber companies. Slightly cheaper. It has expense ratio of 47 basis points.
And how did these two stack up against the S&P?
So on this slide, I have the performance chart of these two ETFs, cut and wood, and I have compared one-year performance with the broader market represented by the S&P 500 ETF. So you can see that wood has done really well. It's up about 30%. 31% over the past 1 year. Cut is up about 21%, and SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, is about 16% over the same period.
So do you own any of these?
I don't.
All right. We have more information on ETFs, and it's on our website, Zacks.com. And all you need to do to access it is get over to the home page and use the Funds tab in the top toolbar to navigate right to that section. With Nina, I'm Terry Ruffalo.